Hi, everybody. It's me again. So, over the last, 6 months since coronavirus has invaded our lives, I've become more political. And I didn't really want to talk about politics in my videos because, because it has nothing to do with being a parent. I mean, it does. I'm an independent. And so I look at all facets of both parties, all parties. And, I'm on the side of truth, the side of what's right. And there's a fine line between freedom and bondage. It is. And we're all sitting on that fine line. I don't know how to get people to watch my channel other than to get political, because it's about content on YouTube and Facebook. And I don't agree with it. I think people there's so many YouTube channels, so many. And I wish I would have gotten on this YouTube train a long time ago, but I had a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, I'm hoping that because I'm speaking political, and I'm crossing this line because I think my message is extremely important. I think what I'm doing right now is so important that I'm going to break my own rule. And I hate to do it. I do. But it is what it is. So hopefully by you guys watching this, it will fall into the political mess of YouTube somewhere. So somebody will cross by it, and actually look at my other content, because it's really important. I think being a single parent is the most important job you can do. It's important because you are the pinnacle of these children becoming who they are as people. And it's your job. And if you don't want that job, give it to someone else. Allow someone else to raise your kids. Like I said in my previous video, I've had an abortion. Again, it was the worst experience of my life. I would never do it again. And I think if women knew how terrible this experience was, they would never do it. I didn't have anybody to help me during that time. I've been doing it on my own for a really long time. Since I was 15, actually, I've been on my own. And I have had people help me along the way, of course, but I made these decisions. I have to be accountable for the way that my children turn out. I've heard a lot of parents, well, it's not my fault. You can't blame yourself for your kids being the way they are. Well, really? I mean, those words coming out of somebody's mouth is completely insane for two reasons. The first reason is we are accountable for all our actions, all of them, no matter what. And the second reason is we're accountable for all our actions, everyone. So if your kid turns out to be a fucking criminal, excuse my language, sorry. If your kids turn out to be criminals, unless they're diagnosed with some mental illness, it is your fault and yours alone. So make a decision how you want your kids to turn out. You set the frickin' example of how your children are going to be. Now, again, I don't have a PhD. I don't have any letters behind my name, but I do have experience, and I do have the ability to use my voice and to help those who are they can't help themselves or they don't have any direction. And hopefully someday in the near future, I can do that for you or for somebody. My next video is going to talk about, I'm going to talk about respect. Actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about it now. I'm inspired. I'm an artist. So, it's like when you're writing, you just write. You write and write, even if it doesn't sound like it makes any sense. But I'm going to do it anyway. Because, it's just the cross you bear as an artist, as a writer. It's just the way it is. But, when I grew up, my father and my mother demanded that I respect them. And by the way, this is the only way you can prevent your children from rebelling. I'm going to repeat that. Respect is the only way you're going to get your children to not rebel against you. How do you do that? How do you get your children to respect you? Well, growing up, you must respect your parents, respect your elders, but why? I used to go, why should I respect you? You don't respect me. So, and then we teach our kids that you have to earn respect. Earn it. But then you turn around and demand it from that child. What kind of message is that? So you're going to demand respect from me, but you don't give me any. And I'm supposed to earn it. Why aren't you earning it? Why aren't the parents earning your child's respect? Well, how do you respect your kids? This is a good example, and you got to figure it on your own because it's your life, it's your child. Look up that word respect and figure out what respect is. I buy my kids things just like every other parent. Just iced tea, for instance. Can I have my own iced tea? Well, sure. So iced tea goes in the refrigerator. And I go in the refrigerator and go, oh, that tea looks so good. I want some of that tea. Well, you take that tea out and you pour yourself a glass with some ice on a nice hot day. And you put it back. 20 minutes later, you're sitting enjoying your tea. And your child comes up to you and says, Mom, what happened to my tea? Well, I had some. What? What's the big deal? Well, that was my tea. Well, I bought it. So why shouldn't I be able to have some? It was my money that paid for it. I've heard this so much. No. Think about this. If you bought something that was yours and you told your kids, this is mine, don't touch it, you would expect them not to touch it, right? You guys see where I'm going with this? Let me explain to you if you're not getting it. You have to show them the same respect that they show you. You set the example of earning respect. My kids were younger. I started really early with them. And you have to. When they start making decisions on their own, that's when that line, you have to, I call it the leash method. Because when baby's in belly, there's actually a real leash. It's the little metaphorical leash. And when the child leaves the body, well, that leash is no longer there physically. So as the child gets older, he or she or they or Z leave the nest. They start moving away from you. So as the child moves away, the more respect you have to give your children and giving them their space. Now, my way of thinking is if your child isn't hurting themselves, if they're not hurting others, if they're earning respect based on merit, then let them be who they are. Allow them to become the person they're meant to be. We always talk about that. Everybody talks about letting people become the people that they were meant to be. If you don't allow them to become the person they're meant to be, then they will be something undescribable. They'll turn into criminals. They'll turn into rebellious teenagers. They will turn into people who have no respect. Because the worst mistake you can make as a parent is to demand respect from your kids when you haven't earned it. So the story with the tea, you ask your kid, hey, that tea's looking really good. Can I have some tea? Well, if you raise them right, they're going to say yes. Because you've earned that respect from them. Because you respected their space. I'm going to go further into the leash method later on. If you guys have any questions and you guys have any ideas, I do have a lot of knowledge about this. I'm not saying it's foolproof because nothing in life is foolproof. And I guess I should do some kind of disclaimer. I don't have any letters at the end of my name. I don't. But I do have experience. I do have empirical knowledge. Now you can take this information and run with it, do whatever you want with it, and that's your choice. But I hope it helps. And I can only guide you in the right direction. Just like you can only guide your family, your children in the right direction. You cannot control them. Because the moment you start controlling them is the moment you disrespect them. So set the example of how you should want your kids to be. Do not control your children and show them respect that you think you deserve. God bless. And you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye-bye. Oh, like, share, do all that fun stuff. One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to put videos and stuff and show you videos of people and stuff. I'm new at this. You guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye.